Hi, this is Steve. Welcome back to my channel, Scale Model Kit Review Studio, and welcome back to another installment of the FanHome Build the Star Trek The Next Generation Enterprise D. I am working on issue 11. Issue 11 comprises of stages 39 through 42. Head over to FanHome today and subscribe to it, as they are actively taking subscription for this. Without further ado, let's get started. Welcome back to Scale Model Kit Review Studio, and welcome back to another installment of the FanHome Star Trek The Next Generation Build the U.S.S Enterprise NCC-1701-D. Now I am on issue 11 or pack 11, and fantastic. I'm really enjoying this build. I've learned a lot from Retro Trek Ralph in his build. I've been following his build. I'll put a link down below if you haven't followed Retro Trek Ralph. Yeah, head over to Retro Trek Ralph and watch his channel and subscribe to him. But let's move on here. I received 4 more stages with this issue, stage 39, 40, 41, and 42. And this is where I'll be assembling more of the deck panels and LED lighting, showing you how that process goes. It's relatively easy, just a little time consuming, but you know, if you get this kit, you can actually have something to build on your weekend off, Saturday and Sunday, something to sit at the bench with and complete some components and stages, and it's very satisfying, and I have enjoyed it immensely. And we'll do some light testing here too, plugging in some of the LEDs where they belong on the circuit board, and working on the Cobra neck. We'll be installing more LEDs on the Cobra neck and installing some of the last panels, the deck panels on the side of the Cobra neck in this issue. So I'm looking forward to that. It's great. And as you can see here, there's a lot going on here, and a lot to do here. So each magazine contains it's an episode guide basically. So we're continuing on here with season 2, episode 20, The Emissary. Season 2, episode 21, Peak Performance. Any of these shows stand out to you? Put them in the comments below. Let me know what shows you really like the best in Star Trek The Next Generation. Season 2, Season 2, Episode 22, The Shades of Grey. And starting off with Season 3 here, The Perfect Fit, The Next Generation, Season 3, 1989 to 1990. It's great there. So we go with Season 3, Episode 1, Evolution. And Season 3, Episode 2, The Ensigns of Command. Wow, it's fantastic. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the parts that came in issue 11. 39, some deck panels. 40, some more deck panels. 41, again, some more deck panels. And 42, more deck panels. Let's get started on 39. Starting with stage 39 in this video, these are the parts we received. Received another large bank of saucer window light up for the first time in this stage, while the lights for the right side of the neck section start to slot into place. There you go there. Once again, working on another deck panel. I usually support the deck panel with a sanding stick from below. It just prevents the windows from falling out. Then we'll go ahead and route our wires the way they need to be and put in our screws, mainly the BM screws and the EM screws. We know all about those. And continuing on here, with some other deck panels that were already assembled there. And we do our light tests on those deck panels. And they're reminding us here to refresh your batteries in your battery tester, because it's been a while since we put new batteries in that. So check that out. If you're having problems with your lights, definitely go for the easiest first, which is to change that battery. And here's the parts for 39. Let's get a closer look. Here's a close-up of those parts. Our deck panel is metal, and we've seen these before. Has a very nice finish to it. And our reflector that houses the LED lights. EM, BM, and CP screws. Our clear windows, our blacked out windows, and our escape pod covers. Now, I've heard these referred to as life raft doors. I don't know what they're called as far as that, and I've heard people reference that, but they do in the instructions say that they are escape pod covers. And we also received another LED light. Okay, I brought over the Cobra neck that we built previously. That looks great. I've taken the two wire bundles that are coming off of it. There's one on the top here, coming off the top, and one coming off the bottom area. You need to separate these bundles. There's two LEDs for each. We're going to use the red and blue ones for this stage. And the reflector is going to go down on our windows here. We put those in previously, if you remember that. And we'll bring our reflector over, and the reflector is going to go like that up against it. Okay, so it's going to mount like that temporarily. So of course we're going to have the bottom one feed into the top here, and I'm going to tape it like I always do with some Scotch tape. The bottom wire here is taped to the bottom side, and the top wire is taped to the top side. And I'm going to feed this to the panel. I'm going to secure that down with 3 CP screws. Just till it's snug. That's good. Turn this over. That's how that looks there. And of course that's going to feed in to the side a little bit later. But that's how that looks. Let's work on another deck panel. 2 deck panels need to be assembled next, and it's the U.S deck panel, which you can see right here, with the escape pod covers and the windows inserted, and also U.S and U.S right here. You can see with the escape pod covers and the windows inserted there. This is from the previous stages where we received this one. I'll bring over the saucer assembly and we'll install some LED lights on that and go to install these panels. I retrieved the saucer and we're going to put in 2 LEDs. We're going to retrieve the blue and red LED, and that's going to go right here, and the yellow and green LED coming across is going to go right there. Of course, secure that down with some tape. And that's semi-permanent. It still will allow me to change out these LEDs if I need to later on. So those are all set, and you can see I have some nice foam that I'm putting the saucer on. I think it's fantastic. It was worth every penny to buy this big hunk of foam. I'll show you a picture of that. Now let's install those panels. Now with the saucer ready to go, we have the 2 LEDs hooked up where they need to be, as you saw earlier. Bring over the U.S panel, which was the larger one we put together, and that's going to slide in from underneath and line up where the BM screws go into. And you've done this before. very carefully, get everything to line up. And 6 BM screws are going to go into this. Use a little bit of oil on the screw. All 6 BM screws are installed. I used a little 3-in-1 oil on those, and they're all tight. And then I put in the EM screws. Now we'll go ahead and put our next panel on, and that's going to be right here. It's the other panel we assembled, and that's this panel right here, the U208 panel. But first we have to put our 2 LED lights in. Going to take our LED we received in this stage. I'm going to feed it through from underneath, and it's going to come out here on top, just like that. I'm going to go ahead and split the wire, and we're going to run the red wire, red and blue, on this connector, and the green and yellow on the other one. And there you go. They're both installed. I got them taped down temporarily. Go ahead and flip this over and we'll put our panel on. And here's our panel 0208. That's going to go in from underneath just like before. It's going to line up with a groove from the other panel and snap fit right where it needs to go. I'll put a BM screw in the middle up here on top, and in the middle on the bottom here. 6 BM screws are installed right there, and 4 EM screws are installed there. Let's turn it over and have a look. And that's how both those panels look that we just installed. They look great. And I believe we're going to do a light test next. And 3 wire bundles are going to plug in to our tester. And there you go. Everything checks out good with the LEDs. I'm not worried about the light leaks right now. I want to wait till the entire saucer is complete, and then I will show you what I'm going to do to fix any light leaks that are bothersome to me. But right now, that's how it looks. And that's all I do with stage 39. Let's head over and do stage 40. Let's look at the instructions and the parts for stage 40. We have another deck panel and some reflectors, some more LED lights. Going to fit 2 more deck panels on the upper saucer skeleton and connect more LEDs on the saucer PCB board. And do a light test. Hook them up on the saucer, plug in the LEDs onto the PCB board. Let me get the parts, I'll be right back. There's parts pack for 40. Lots of stuff going on in there. I'll take these out, we'll get a closer look. Here's a close-up of those parts. Received another metal deck panel. Very nice there. 2 more reflector panels. Some more escape pod covers, windows, DM, BM screws, another set of windows. A real long LED light. It's a single light, and a shorter double LED light assembly. The first thing I do with stage 40 is I assembled U.S.S deck panel with all the escape hatch panels and windows, and then I put the LED lights on the reflector, and I used a longer LED wire that came with this stage, the red and gray, and that's on top there. And then I took the shorter wire that came with this stage, put the green and yellow on the bottom, and that's going to insert on the left side of the panel here, which is actually the right side, but it's left side as we look at it. I'm going to put in my DM screws to hold all those windows in place. Last one. That's good there. They're all tight. Next, I take the other reflector and take the other wire, the black and red wire, and I taped it like I always do here. And I'm going to insert that right on top. But first we need to bend it up along with the other one. Don't worry about bending them. They're very pliable. They're able to take it. And we'll trap in these windows, make sure they're all where they need to be. 4 more DM screws go into that. Okay, all the screws are in and they're tight. We're going to go ahead and install this on the saucer next. First, I'll go ahead and do a light test. That's good there. Now we'll install on the saucer. Bring over the panel here, and we're going to put this wire right there through that. And this wire through this. Okay, and it's simply just going to insert down. Make sure that your wires are lifted up, fully upright, bent up like I showed you earlier. Just like that. And BM screws will go into this from the other side. Only 2 screws held that panel in from the other side, and this screw right here, and then there's another one hidden away back over here in the corner. It's kind of hard to see, but it's right there. And it's good to leave these wire tie straps loose so that way you can maneuver your wiring around to get at any screws or anything. Turn this over and have a look. And that's that panel right there. Looks great. Now we'll go ahead and plug in those bundles into the PCB board. We'll take our wire that we just hooked up on the panel we just installed, the one with the 4 pins, that's going to go in over here. Right there. Next, I take the red and gray wire and I tuck the extra wire underneath the board. It was really long. And this is 40H. We received this in this stage, and plug it into the board right here. Perfect. Let's look at the build instructions and the parts for stage 41. Once again, another deck panel. Some more lights and a reflector. We're going to add a proton torpedo launcher on the battle section and say goodbye to the skeleton neck as the last large neck panel covers it completely. Assemble that deck panel. Install that deck panel into the saucer section. Do a light test. And bundle up all the wires together with a tie strap. Install the last bit of windows and panel onto the cobra neck. And position the proton torpedo launcher in the slot at the edge of the left neck panel. Carefully put that panel on the cobra neck. We're going to take the top off again to do this. Makes it a lot easier. Put our screws in and test our lights out. Let me get the parts. I'll be right back. Here's the parts for stage 41. Let's get a closer look. And here's the parts. We received another deck panel. This one's made of plastic. reflector for it. 2 sets of windows, clear and black. A lot of windows there. Escape pod covers. Another reflector for the cobra neck. 2 tie straps, small ones. Our proton torpedo assembly. I'll give you a close-up of that. CP, BP, BM screws, and another set of LEDs. This is our deck panel for 41, completed there. All the windows and escape pod covers are installed, and the reflector is ready to go. Here I put LED wire on the panel, just like it shows in the illustration. Turn that over, and it's going to go down on top of our panel very carefully. Just like that. BP screws go into that. In order to install this on the saucer, they want us to remove the red and the blue wire. So just pull it apart a little bit and it comes right out. I'm going to go ahead and take the deck panel here, and I'm going to thread it through just like that, and it's going to go around the outside here. And feed through that panel just like that. Going to reinsert it. Just like that. And now the panel can get installed. So I'm going to bend it up along with this one. They both get bent up. That way we can put our panel on. 2 CP screws will go into this. We line everything up. Okay, both screws are in. Now we'll do a light test on this panel. But before we do, I want to go ahead and tidy up the wires here. I went ahead and tidied up all the wire bundles, and that's right there. It's going through the frame, so everything is nice and out of the way. Now we'll go ahead and do the light test. And there you go, the lights work on that. You can see from that side. And from this side here, looks good. Now let's work on the cobra neck. Bring over the cobra neck next, and we're going to put our windows in. And they simply just go down on top of that, just like that. And our reflector, same thing with it. We went ahead and put the lower wire coming off, the black and yellow wire, onto the reflector on the bottom, and then the top wire coming out of the cobra neck is on there. And I'll flip this over, and it's going to go down on top of the panel. And we're going to secure that panel down with 3 CP screws. That's good there. Now we need to install the proton launcher right there. Hopefully I didn't lose it. Oh no. Oh, there it is. And there's your proton launcher installed. Now we can go ahead and put our panel on. We'll take the top off first. Take this off to get it out of the way. Okay, with that cover off, now I can go ahead and feed all my wires in, make sure they are out of the way. Need to bend these wires so it goes in easier. Just like that. Get everything inserted here. Like I was saying, the wires are bent now, out of the way. Making sure the wires are bent like they're supposed to be. And okay, insert everything the way it's supposed to be. Move everything out of the way. There we go. Okay, so everything is inserted like it's supposed to. Everything's lined up. And we'll put our screws into this. Put a little oil on the screw. Nice and tight. Back one's in nice and tight. And the front one. I did oil the screws with 3-in-1 oil. Make it nice and tight. That's good there. So all 3 screws are in. Now we can put the cover, the top cover back on and screw those back down, those screws. Make sure all the lights work, and they do. Looks great. Proton torpedo light looks great. That completes stage 41. Everything looks great on the Cobra neck. I'm finally glad to get it done. At least with all the panels put on, because we have some other items that get installed on it. But all the lights look great on it so far. Very happy with it. Very nice. Let's head over and do the final stage for this video, stage 42. Let's look at the build instructions and parts for stage 42. Another deck panel and some screw cover panels. All the parts there. This time we'll join up 2 sections of the saucer decking before adding more intricate details to the battle section neck assembly. So work on this deck panel. We all know how that works. I'll assemble it and I'll show you it completed. Again, I'm going to put that deck panel on the saucer section, just like shown. Screw it down. Do a light test. Get the ventral neck panel here. We're going to put some screw cover panels onto it. Again there. Here's the parts for stage 42. Let's get a closer look. Here's all the parts. We received the transporter emitter pad, and that's that little nice piece of photo etch part. Very nice. It does have 3-in-1 tape on the back side. We also have another screw cover and that has tape on it also. We have some press-in covers for the screws, CP and BP screws, 2 trees of clear windows, a tree and a half of the blacked out windows, and we also have some screw covers, or little round discs, and plastic deck panel, and the reflector, and another set of LEDs. And the panel is put together, doing the light test also. That's what it looks like. I will go ahead and install this on the saucer section. I'll put that in and I'll be right back. Okay, so that panel is installed now. I had to loosen up these 2 other panels that were beside it, and 2 screws hold each of those panels on the back side. Had to loosen them up because there's a lip that this goes under on each of those panels, just so that lip could fit in like it's supposed to. But everything looks good now on that. Now we'll go ahead and work on some of those panels for the Cobra neck. And here's the Cobra neck. We're going to go ahead and install a few of the panels on it. Some of the panels cover screws and some don't. Here's the transporter panel, and it has 3M tape on the back. Go ahead and peel that off. Just like that. And go ahead and put that down. There you go. That's how that looks there. Looks good there. You can hear my dog. And there you go. There's a close-up of that. Next we'll put this panel on, but first I want to make sure that the screw is tight underneath it. And there we go. It's tight. Next we're going to put this panel on, and same thing, it has the 3M tape on the back side. Going to peel that back. And it's going to lay down right there. The screw is tight. And should just press fit down just like that. That looks good. And next we're going to put these 2 panels in next, and these are press fit type of panels. They don't have tape on them. Once again, I need to make sure the screws are tight. And there we go. Now they're tight. Put this panel on here, and you can see it's just going to press fit in. Just like that. And the next one is going to press fit down on top of that. And it does a good job at hiding those screws, I think. Great. And we got 2 more to do back here. Once again, make sure the screws are tight. Which they are. I think that's plastic, so I don't want to over tighten that. And just so these don't fall out and I lose them, I'm going to hold off on putting these plugs in. I'm going to go ahead and keep them in safekeeping in my spares box. And there you have it. That completes issue 11, or pack 11. We finally completed the Cobra neck. I must say it looks really good. And pretty firm, pretty nice. I like how it lights up. And we put some more panels on. But other than that, can't wait for issue 12 to arrive, and I'll get started on it. If you haven't done so already, head over to FanHome and subscribe to this build today. They are actively taking subscriptions for this. Do it while you can. If you like my content, please subscribe to my channel and smash that like button. Happy modeling, everybody, and take care.